Australia's gone through itself as a country many changes. We as a nation together are still grappling on a day-to-day basis with Aboriginal reconciliation. You know, after 220 odd years, we still don't have a treaty. We still don't know how to, apart from as Mayor, I stand up and from the heart acknowledge that we're on direct land. But overall, when we look at the Aboriginal people of Australia with higher death rates or quicker deaths, obesity, and all the different problems and education standards lower than the average person, you know, we as a society, so you've got a double aspect is to deal with where you've come from, but now making Australia your homeland is actually setting up, knowing the problems of the past, but making sure Australia becomes the nation of the future that we want everyone to prosper and work together. We can always dwell on the problems of the past, and far too often that we see people from especially the European background or any background, where they come up with the wars of the 1700s or the 1500s. How far back in time are we going to go back? But yours is more of a recent, obviously, challenges that you've gone through, and very much so you have lived through these challenges just like my parents have. But what we need to do is actually look and work together, dealing with the past, and we need to deal with that. I'm not downplaying it in any way, but we need to also, for our children's sake, in showing that there is great opportunity in Australia in this new adopted homeland of what you can achieve. And a person I'd just like to single out is Sajan Anand, who's about to perform soon, and I'll finish up in a second. But he, about 3 years ago, was awarded the Citizen of the Year. The best citizen that Blacktown had about 3 years ago, and he's from your background. He's a Fijian Indian. For all his community services and all the works that he's done, not only in the Fijian Indian community, but even in the broader, larger scale across the communities and helping out. He serves on Blacktown Council's various different committees, is there helping out fundraising, etc. Today, especially, and just finish up on this note, today, the 28th of April, is a world significant day. Today is the International Day of Mourning, the Workers' Memorial Day for people who have died in the workplaces or have gone through problems, etc. These days in the workplace, it's not only being the physical accident that just happens now, it could be the mental abuse, etc. If you look at the history of the Girmit and the Diaspora, you were taken from different places of the world to be forced labour camps. I think as a community, and Blacktown Council hosts at 10 o'clock in the morning a ceremony. Next year will be on a Sunday morning. I would suggest that as an organisation that you adopt that as a morning tea to come down, because it's not only about people or workers in Australia. This is an international day recognised by the United Nations, and together we need to commemorate from cultures, from countries, all the wrongs that have been done to workers and to people. It's an International Day of Mourning, and this is just one example where we can work together across cultures, cross borders, where we can adopt an international day and actually recognise the problems of the past, but do something to make our future a better place. So thank you very much for having me here today. It's a great honour, and I look forward to some more entertainment. Thank you.
नमस्कार भाइयों, बहुत खुशी मैं याद किया प्रबोध भाई ने, सतीश जी ने। बहुत नाता है आप लोगों से हमारा। एक तो हमारी सबकी जड़ें एक हैं, वी आल फ्रॉम इंडिया। जैसे मैंने बहुत अच्छा कहा कि मैं तो ना फीजियर की हूँ, मुझे कहीं कि मैं तो भारतीय हूँ, सो वही नाता हमें सभी को इकट्ठा करता है। और मुझे सौभाग्य हुआ फीजी जाने का 2004 में, जब 100 ईयर आर्य समाज का वहाँ सेलिब्रेट किया, और मैं प्रबोध जी बैठे, सारी टीम यहाँ से गई थी और मैं भी उनके साथ था। और उसी साल वहाँ DAV यूनिवर्सिटी भी बना था. सो आई हैड द अपॉर्चुनिटी टू टच दैट लैंड दैट ईयर. बहुत सी यादें हैं. और इन लोगों से तो आर्या समाज सेंटर में शेर पाक हमारे घर की बात है. जब से शुरू हुआ है तब से वहाँ से साथ जुड़े हुए हैं. सो थैंक यू वेरी मच. प्लीज़ कीप ग्रोइंग. मैं थोड़ा टच करना चाहूँगा कि फ़िजी एक ऐसा कंट्री है इंडिया के बाहर जहाँ हमारे लोगों की किसी समय में शायद मेजॉरिटी भी हो गई थी, मोर देन 50. और महेंद्र चौधरी प्रधानमंत्री भी थे. लेकिन हम वी लॉस्ट द ट्रैक. कहीं ना कहीं हमने उसको फाइट बैक करने की वजह से वहाँ से निकलना ज़्यादा ठीक समझा. और आज शायद पॉपुलेशन 30% और इससे हमें वो फाइटिंग स्पिरिट चाहिए. इज़राइल से सीखो, कहीं और से सीखो, वो कहीं भागते नहीं है. दे ओन द लैंड. दे और जो सबसे ज़्यादा हमें लगा कि फ़िजी में मैंने उसे देखा कि हमारे लोगों के बहुत अच्छे कारोबार है, सब कुछ है, लेकिन मिलिट्री में मुझे कोई बहुत कम दिखे. सो जब जो रूट जो है हमारी ओनरशिप वो मिलिट्री है. जब तक हम ये नहीं सोचेंगे कि जिस कंट्री में भी है हमारे बच्चे उस मिट्टी को के लिए जिए और उसके लिए मरे, तब तक हमारे लिए कोई मिट्टी अपनी नहीं रहेगी. लोग हमें भगाते रहेंगे. सो प्लीज़ ये मेरा मैसेज है. जहाँ भी है कहीं उस मिट्टी को प्यार कीजिए, उसके लिए जिए, उसके लिए मरे. थैंक यू जी. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Racism and colonial oppression are connected. Delivered by the ocean, by the empire, many and lonely, young and worn, strong and worn, poor and poor, hopeful. Leaving behind night-flowering jasmine, Mughal domes, poverty-laden, familiar routine, the big family love that made it home, the sacred mountains, rivers that created them. Arriving to broken youth, stolen promises, twisted truths, left in hibiscus-laden, unfamiliar routine, no footprints to follow. They didn't wallow in defeat, didn't let pain swallow them. Under the heat of oppression, depression, endless debt, they shone, toiled, brave, planted deepest roots in colonial soil, integrated, shared, made communities. My Aji spoke fluent Fijian, all her Fijian friends, Rotis would put mine to shame. Our Girmitya, Badnanis and Nanas, Ajis and Ajas made their own game, made their own shoes, left footprints in the shape of doctors, lawyers, engineers. Their sugarcane farming, sun-worn wealth, arming us with health to overlook, divide and rule, with double-storey houses, private school, university degrees, perfect immigrant CVs that steer us clear of the fear of standing out, missing out. Blessed with job security, getting ahead, a crutch. We've learnt so much. How to throw some shrimp on the barbie, bag out refugees to meet perceived expectations, balancing out elusive assimilation with weekend segregation. Our girls can play cricket, wear shorts, maybe, if we have surety of their purity. Behind closed doors, lies, ugly crimes, violence spreading under silence. Unni badnaam hoye. Londa to londa hai. Holding on to real, beautiful, imagined, convenient culture. But the homeland has grown. We can't have known that part of us would be frozen in time. Keeping places that may never have existed, persisting in our hearts, grating pasts painful against every new home we are building. We have tripped up on convoluted definitions of success, stayed within our inhibitions, called it progress. The evidence is mounting, the seams ripping apart. We got independence but didn't shake dependence on meeting stereotypes already laid out for us, taking out frustrations on those closest to us. Ask your heart, why take spicy, chaotic, exotic, good at accounting when we flourished from roots, reflective, poetic, collective, a history of wildcat strikers, women freedom fighters, political artists, scientists, activists, keeping the Girmitya legacy alive, knowing that to thrive we have to push beyond corporate-issued, tightly rationed dreams, stoking the sparks, resting in our guts, pushing down the ifs and buts, navigating our futures by agitating for more. Thanks for having me and thanks for listening.
In fact, what we'll do is we'll just ask Harish Prasad to come up and say a few words. As you may know, Harish Prasad is a well-renowned lawyer by trade here in the Indian community. Please put your hands together for Harish Prasad.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be very quick. I know that some of you have been here since 4:30 listening to speeches. I only want to start off and finish by thanking the people who've been involved in organizing this. Satish Rai and the Rai family and the other people have taken a lot of initiative. This is a unique event. We've all been in Australia for a long time, and we go to functions where there's all sorts of people, but people tend to forget that we have a very, very unique culture, we Fiji Indians, and it's about time we took a bit more effort in organizing these things. We've talked about these sorts of events for years, and I know Satish has been involved in the Girmit cause, if you like, for many years. I think it was about 15 years ago that he first went to India and came with a documentary on the Girmitians. He actually met people in India who could tell stories about their families who had come to Fiji. I remember we had an occasion similar to this where we had coffee and tea, and people went away amazed that someone had actually made that effort, took the initiative to go to India and finally film something like that. Now, 15 years on, I don't think we've done enough. I think something like this was long overdue, and I'd like to think that in years to come, or weeks to come, months to come, there'll be bigger conferences than this one. And I was quite startled to hear about some of the stats today of suicide and all that, so obviously there's a problem in the community. Mrs. Ramzan mentioned that there's a lot of temples and mosques that have been built from people from Fiji. I think we've got enough of those. I think we need more social organizations, organizations that take some interest in other people coming into Australia, migrants, and of course the new generation who are forgetting our roots. We have a very unique culture, Fiji Indians, something to be proud of. Having lived in Australia for a long time, as a lawyer, I can tell you I mix with people from India, and I'm constantly reminded how different we are, and different in a nice way. Unique culture, next generation needs to be reminded, and it's only initiatives like this that will make that possible. So once again, thank you for inviting me, and thank you for organizing this.
Thank you very much, Harish Prasad. I've got a